everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports.
Larry, it is set to host Super Bowl 51 on February 5th of next year as you take a look inside NRG Stadium here in Houston. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Houston Texans. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. This is Lamar Miller. A little 360. 13 yards there on the pickup. And the Texans are going to have a first. And that's a guy, Lamar Miller, from Miami. Went to the University of Miami, was playing for the Dolphins, but now moved to the Lone Star State.
Yeah, how about that? And sometimes that change of scenery, it may look like it's going to affect him adversely. He's away from his home for the first time ever. But sometimes you get out on your own somewhere else, that can increase your performance. You only focus on your football.
And here's the offense today that hopes to get off to a strong start. So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. Out of the gun, it's Osweiler. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the gun on 3rd down, Osweiler. And he locates Luke Wilson. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Carlos Dunlap in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
Encroachment defense. Still 2nd down.
On 2nd down, Osweiler. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Green 39.
Now Osweiler on 2nd down. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. From the 5-yard line, will this opening drive yield 6? This is 3rd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Osweiler. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. So on 4th down, the Texans will call on their field goal unit, and on comes Nick Novak. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Novak's kick is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
It's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. They come up in an offset eye. Dalton, 1st and 10. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And he's brought down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. Rolling to his left. Cordero Patterson, the one he was hoping to get it to. That'll bring up 2nd down. Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. On the right side, caught by Green. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. So we have now seen connection number 1 between Dalton and Adriel Jeremiah, A.J. Green.
Say that again?
Adriel Jeremiah.
Look at you. You are full of knowledge and information. And you know something? I bet Andy Dalton learned his full name as well because he figured out quickly, this is going to be my number 1 target. I got to know this guy in a big way.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Again, here's Bernard. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
2 plays in a row, the defense won, stacking up the running game. They've got to feel good about themselves, but something has to be in the back of their minds. Are we being set up for something big? They've got to be careful.
3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? Being chased out left. And that is incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They go play action now. Osweiler. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, they decided to air it out a little bit on that play, take a shot downfield, but the coverage was really nice. Able to get a hand in and tip it away.
Osweiler. Catch made right side by Wilson. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Now a man who turned 40 back in August. He might not like me for that one, but it's true. Shane Leckler, the 40-year-old, on to punt it away.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame. I hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Bengals take possession. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A big play there for the Bengals. 47 yards.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch, and it came on a crossing route. I can just hear one of my friends who won 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback always said the same thing. What route does a defense hate? Crossing route. Hate it, hate it, hate it, because it's hard to change direction when they get going full speed in the other way. Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Forced out to his left. Did he get the feet down? Yes! Touchdown! Tyler Eifert, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Bengals are going to jump back in front. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish-type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover him? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You going to yell at me? You go cover him.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now Osweiler on second down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it's third down. Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
From the shotgun, Osweiler. And this is going to be incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target. And that brings up fourth down. Here's Shane Leckler now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. It's taken to the 26. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. And he finds a man on a crossing route. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
From midfield here, Dalton. Caught Eifert over the middle. Past the 20. Tyler Eifert. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Tyler Eifert, his second TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
That'll be taken in the end zone. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now Osweiler. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It's a gain of 7, and it's a second down. From the gun, it's Osweiler. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. The catch made by Miller. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag.
False start, offense.
1st and 15 here behind the chains. Throwing again, Osweiler. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. They'll get 17 yards there. And it's good enough for a Houston first down. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now a play fake here on first down. And his throw here is incomplete. Stevie Johnson was the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. And on 2nd and 10 now.
And that one was knocked away, and I think the defenders are going to be a little upset with themselves. They made the play on the football, but that one felt like a forced pass by the quarterback. Thought he had someone open. He really wasn't. Maybe an example of having too much confidence in his receiver that no matter what, I'm going to throw it to him. And that was a play made by the defense, and it could have been a bigger one.
Give him 6 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Osweiler will throw again. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And a 2nd field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So 2 first-half field goals now for a guy who, and you hate to give him the tag a journeyman, but it's fair to say, Charles, he's been around in his career.
Yeah, it's more have leg will travel for him. He is a guy that's bounced around a bit, but he can still stroke him when called upon, just as he did right there.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the 2nd quarter. They'll come out in the pistol. Again, we'll see the pistol here. They'll begin here with Bernard. Look at the spin.
Balance.
Giovanni Bernard, nothing but green grass. 20, 10, 5, and he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the 3rd quarter?
It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6. So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve as we send you on over to Orlando, where we'll check in with Larry Ritt. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get... So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They send Green to the left on his own. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. 12 yards on the pickup, and the Bengals are going to have a first down. And look at the numbers, a repeat performance. It seems right now it doesn't matter how many guys they're going to put on him, he's going to catch the football.
And when you hit that zone, and that's what he's in right now, where everything is working well for him, and I think it's in combination with what the offense coordinator's doing. He's a primary target. He looks at his play sheet, knows he wants to get him the football, and has designed some routes effective for the last 2 weeks. He's really been fun to watch.
They'll run again with Bernard. And an alley to run. Whoosh. Still on his feet. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now third and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Dalton gives to Bernard. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jeremy Hill, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Partner, we saw him struggle last week. We're seeing him struggle again this week. We talked about it after last week's game, the type of coverage he was seeing. I think I'm seeing very similar blueprint.
That's what I was going to ask you. How often, when you see this back-to-back weeks, is it a defensive coordinator saying, hey, I'm just going to steal what that guy did?
And that's the best way to go about it. Don't try and become original each and every week. If it's working, use it. Put it into your game plan until they defeat it. And so far, that hasn't happened. Excellent coverage, knocking him off his timing. He can't get into his routes the way he wants to. And so far, the defense is winning.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And this will be taken at the 13. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And out now, here come the Bengals. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
They come up in an offset eye. Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Tyler Eifert. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Tyler Eifert, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 19 on the year. And the Bengals add on to their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. That's fielded in the end zone. And this will be a touchback. Last year would have come out to the 20. This year they'll move it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
A 1st down carry now for Miller. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Miller, the lone setback. Now Osweiler on 2nd down. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 3rd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Here's Shane Leckler now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. 1st and 10 for Dalton. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The 4-time All-Pro, J.J. Watt, in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. Andy Dalton. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 19 yards there on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And look at this, it's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work out.
Not the quarterback.
No.
The punter.
Yeah, risky.
It is so funny because when it works, genius. When it doesn't work, not so smart.
Not so genius.
In this case, not so genius, but I do admire that he went for it.
It's a gain of 17 that time. And that'll be good for a Houston first. And he is picking up right where he left off a week ago. I wrote down, so funny here on my notes, what he said last week. And after we talked to him about the good game, he said, I will do it again. And I wrote those words down, and he's done it again.
And it's not bragging if you're doing it, right? Because that's exactly what he's told you, and he is getting it done smooth in the secondary, making catches, making plays. That's the guy that we know.
6 yards to go here on second down. Out of the gun, it's Osweiler. It's complete to Fuller. And he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now Osweiler on 1st down. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
It worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
30 yards on the pickup there. And it's good enough for a Cincinnati 1st down. And with this guy, I don't know that you're surprised when he has back-to-back games like this. He just keeps excelling.
What I like about him is that every year he doesn't settle for being one of the best.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Tyler Eifert with a career-high 4-touchdown game. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
After the touchdown, here's Mike Nugent now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. And here comes the Texans now. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Second and 10. It's Osweiler again. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion.
Hey. Here we go now.
From the shotgun, Osweiler. And that will be incomplete as well. Here's Shane Leckler now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 23. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. Now a carry for Bernard. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. So 2nd down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on 3rd.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Give them a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down.
But forget knowing where the 1st down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one...
And look at this, another fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not